Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently in a slightly awkward situation. We are within spitting distance of Moscow right now, but they are actually finally moving troops in to defend this front. Will they get there in time? We'll find out. They are, however, pulling troops off of the western front over here to go to the northern front, and this is good for us. I'm okay with that. I would rather that they spread their troops out a little bit right now. So let's go ahead and let them do that. Now, there is a troop over here. At least I thought there was. That we were working... We must have overrun them. That we were working on. That's fine. Yeah, we shouldn't have overrun them until we arrived here, right? Not sure where that unit went, but either way it was going to die. I don't know. Maybe it died to attrition? Who knows? At any rate, we are very close to Moscow, but they have troops on the way in. Can we get there in time? That's the question. We're starting to push in over here again. I don't necessarily like the bulge that we've got going on over here. I'd like to even this out a little bit, and to that end, I'm actually going to delete this order, and I'm going to tell them to offensive line somewhere like... here will do. We'll just kind of follow this river down to the sea, kind of like... It just ate that order. Prefer if you didn't eat the order, game. Okay. Something kind of like... that. Okay. I don't really want to push further over here. Now, we do have this unit here still. I've ordered it several times to just walk out of there, but it doesn't seem interested. What happens if we tell it to walk up to here? I do want it to go like that. We'll see. There's basically no troops around here. We're behind enemy lines. We could push south here. I'm not hugely in favor of that at this exact moment, though. You can see that this is now still thinking that we're stronger, but we've lost some relative strength. They were probably rearranging on the front line while they sent some troops up over this way. We'll see what kind of strength they can muster. But I definitely want the focus to be down here right now. And we'll see how that ends up going. Nukes going off up here. That doesn't really matter, though, realistically. So that is fine. It is currently 24 June, and it's 29 July. That was exciting. It's 29 July that we can do our next war support increase. However, we don't have the political power for that, and we won't by the time that comes around, thanks to our mutinies. We do keep getting additional manpower, and that's nice to see. These guys should be assigned to this force. There we go. And we're just checking this over here. Okay. The fill-in looks like that. That seems fine to me. This is slightly concerning to me, but we'll see how this plays out over the next little while. Of course, there's this going on, which I don't necessarily care for. These guys are currently encircled, and they're super close to dead. Get in there. That's a stack wipe. Huge. That is huge. And this is a autosave. We also got another manpower bump. That's nice for the month tick. And we do get to push in here, so we can reconnect that. These guys will grab this territory. Honestly, with that stack wipe, this is feeling much better. Much, much better. So this guy is chilling. I wish he'd stop chilling and do what I tell him to. But that's okay, I guess. There's definitely some territory that we're going to have a hard time pushing into over here. No doubt about that. as usual, our manpower is gone basically immediately. It's to be expected. How are we doing in the air battle? Surprisingly well. I'm shocked that these guys are actually still present. I want to redirect them up to the Western Balkans. We don't have any operations in Asia Minor right now. They're not doing any good there. So we're going to send them up to the Balkans instead. Are we cut off over here? We are, but we have a naval base. Or they have a naval... No, we're getting attacked at this naval base. This is a lot of Swedish troops for a nation that is capitulated and has been for quite some time. I suppose technically they do have Gotland. So that's the thing. How are we doing navally, by the way? I know it's not great. This is officially in not great territory. You're in the Caribbean Sea. You are docked in Leningrad. Why are you docked in Leningrad? Active in 5 regions. Okay. Active in 6 regions. These guys don't have an assigned region. They are heavy cruisers, and for now, we're just going to have them come patrol up here, perhaps? Or we have naval supremacy over here. We could have them come patrol, say, this region. Like that. Anybody else not assigned? These guys are all assigned. Okay. We do have a reserve fleet here. Are they doing anything? Not really. Let's have them come patrol. Actually, I've changed my mind. Let's have them patrol up here. We clearly need additional ships up this way. 2 heavy cruisers aren't a lot of ships, but they're ships, nonetheless. How are we doing on our steel, anyway? I mean, we captured a lot of steel up here, but I think we're kind of struggling to deliver it. Minus 645 right now. That is rough. We're going to buy all of the Swiss steel that we can. As far as chromium goes, that's rough too. But for now, that's okay. Now we do have locations like this one where we've got some resistance and some compliance. But I think mostly the fact that we're... How much steel are we getting out of here? We're getting 77 out of 159. There's a 74.7% delivery penalty, which I think is because we are failing to control these shipping lanes, is my guess. Particularly this over here. We'll add the Bay of Biscay in there. And who else is assigned over this way? Anybody? There must be somebody else. Kinda no. Go ahead and grab all of this as well for patrols. Just to make sure we're controlling these shipping lanes. As best we can, anyway. Okay. I know that they're stretched pretty thin, but that's our Navy for you. Ah! I didn't want to zoom there. That was an exciting zoom. Perfect. So we've managed to push in over here nicely, actually. And these guys are continuing to try to push towards Moscow. I'm currently thinking about removing this order and telling them to offensive line, say, somewhere more like here instead. Just keep pushing. If we take that, we will be taking a huge chunk of their steel. We want to keep going down this way, but for now, this will do. Hello, pause menu. For now, this will do. And then we can start pushing this direction and see if we can pincer all of these guys. I think that's the overall plan here. But we need these units to hold. They're holding reasonably well, I think. But not tremendously well. We've definitely seen a bit of a resurgence of units over here. I think they sent some over this way and just were rearranging over here. That said, the number of units over by Moscow are still minimal. We do still have units moving up to the front over here, as well as some units coming in over here. These guys are at the front, and they are purely defensive. They're just trying to help us hold this. So that will be, in theory, fine. Have we managed to punch our way out here? No. This is, once again, a lot of Swedish troops, and we're going to have a hard time doing that. That said, this guy looks pretty vulnerable. I'm going to tell just this tank division, get in there. There we go. Stack wiped. Perfect. What else do we have going on here? Well, I do want to check over this direction. How are things going? We've definitely made gains here. Slovenia just capitulated. Cool. Where exactly is Slovenia? I'm not actually familiar. That's not how you spell. These guys are Slovenia. Right. That would make sense. I mean, we're unlikely to hold a lot of this territory. That said, some of these troops are leaving. That would be great. Going up there. Fine. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave this as is. Okay. How are things going on the Moscow front? We're not really pushing in towards Moscow just yet. Get aggressive. I want to push into Moscow as soon as we can. Okay. Nukes going off over here. Of course, we're lacking in some air power over here. We've actually taken air control over the Alpine region, which is remarkable. We've lost it over Western Germany. And I want to take a look at this. So the reason that we won air control over the Alpine region is because they moved their air power into attacking Western Germany and Czechoslovakia. That's the reason. Not because we're so awesome, but because they moved. So our anti-air guns are reducing them somewhat. The question is, can they keep this up? The answer, I believe yes. I don't think a war of attrition is necessarily in our best interest, which is why I've been trying to be quite aggressive and take things like all of this Russian territory as quickly as we can. Okay. So we're going to make our way on in and try to push into Moscow. Quite aggressively. We're also seeing... Are we seeing gains or losses overall on this side? Well, we've definitely seen them back off over here. However, we're getting pushed back here. I want this tank to come in over here, but we're already defending against this unit, so we actually have to wait for this to end. But we can attack over here, like so. Where are these tanks going right now? Up over that way. That's fine, I guess. But I'd like to link this back up. And with them backing off, that's a possibility. Okay. We are winning this. We can try to grab this territory. I don't think we'll be super successful. We have enemies coming in over here, but we can keep them occupied. at the least. They may have realized their mistake. I believe they've realized their mistake. Okay. Technically, that's hooked back up, so that is good. And we've definitely got some gains going on up here. They're in the north, they're very light on their units. They have a lot of units here, but not so much over here. That might be something we can use to our advantage. Let's just walk into Moscow, shall we? I like it. How much manpower are we going to get for that? Moscow has 14.45 million manpower. Let's keep an eye on this. We're going to arrive there in 1 day and 10 hours. So here in about 15 more hours. We have arrived in Moscow. Now, it's possible that it's based on the state. We didn't get any manpower income there. It might be based on the actual state. We barely have any control of the state. But hey, Moscow is ours. It's fantastic. For now, we'll just try to hold that. And this guy, I'm still going to keep him on aggressive. This guy, actually, we're showing stronger than them again. I'm going to aggressively execute. We've been pushed back out of this territory, which is unfortunate, to be sure. But we may as well push what we can. See if we can salvage some of this. You can see that we're dropping, though, so I'm going to back that off again. Back to balanced. Okay. We're still missing equipment production on jet fighters. I don't mind that. We will work through the jet fighters that we have in stock, and then switch over to fighter 3s. Let's see. These are all under production at this point. So that's fine. How are we doing over in South America? Ooh. This is a nice cutoff here. I'm going to select the units assigned to this. Where does this actually connect? Okay, it connects through here. I wasn't sure if this dotted line connected here or connected here, but it connects here. That's good to know. So we're going to assign this an offensive line like that. And they will go ahead and begin executing that. We are actually succeeding in Caracas. Unfortunately, we don't have any units over here right now. And I'm going to take 3 units and assign them right there. With an offensive line like that. Actually, technically their offensive line should be like that. Well, I don't know if that counts. Is that all part of one? Yes, that's all part of one. Okay. We'll go ahead and get over there. And we'll see what we can manage to wrest control of over here. We're still struggling against this modern tank brigade, but that's fine. I'm not too concerned about that. Moscow has, of course, fallen. And what is the Russian... Ooh, bit of a lag spike there. But what is the Russian Federation capital now? Stalingrad. Okay. That makes sense. We're still making some gains over here. I'm still very concerned about what's happening here. There's a lot of troops piling in there. But we do have supplies over here, so... in theory, it's okay. In theory. Yeah. That does actually look fine. That said, they have an extreme concentration of troops to the south. Their north troops are very limited. In fact, you can see here, we've linked up our two fronts. To that end, we will go ahead and modify this front line to be more like that. Okay. Sounds good. Our mutinies are over, and we are gaining some base stability. That's fantastic. So, pushing in down here is, I think, irrelevant at this point. They have such a troop concentration down here. All I'm interested in is, like, pushing up to this river. Although, not like that, because that's clearly an illegal order. Pushing up to the river, kind of like this. However, I'm also interested in pushing along this front. That's fine. I want this to be a very narrowly focused offensive. Okay. So we're continuing to make gains in Russia, and that is wonderful. Looking at the strategic resources map mode here, we have liberated quite a number of their steel generating facilities. We need to continue to push down, though. This will be a big blow to them. A big, big blow. And they don't seem to be treating it with the respect it needs. Instead, prioritizing this down here. A big offensive in the south. Like, look up here in the middle. There's only 16 divisions. Well, there's 14 over here. So, I mean, spread out. Yeah, it's fine. But in their backline over here, we don't have all that much. So, here's the idea. I'm actually going to delete this offensive line. We're going to create a new one. The new offensive line is a big one. It's going to come up this way. We're going to modify it, just because I needed to scroll there. And, oh wait, we can't modify offensive lines, can we? Yeah, we can't modify offensive lines. I guess this'll do. Okay, go ahead and execute that. So the idea here is we want to drive a wedge through here, and then we can push this way simultaneously as we push this way, and wipe out all of these guys over here. I don't necessarily care about holding this, although useful, to be sure. I'm going to tell this guy to come over here and reinforce. Okay. And attack here, just so that we don't lose this territory. We're not going to win that attack, necessarily, but there we go. Okay, we are winning that attack, so that is great. So yeah, our new attack order includes taking all of this territory, which will be a huge blow to the Russian Federation. A huge, huge blow to the Russian Federation. And ideally, what's our air support look like here? Fascinating. The reason why I say this is fascinating is because we might want to make use of some of these nukes. We'll use some jet strategic bombers, if we can. Actually, we'll just use strategic bomber 3s, probably. We've got a number of those. Yeah. We'll use those. And is 64 enough? Oh, we can't create this because we don't have the manpower. Right, we'll probably have to wait until the 1st to create that. Well, there goes our air superiority over the Balkans. So there's that. Free France broke our ciphers. It's rude of them. I want to go back into infantry map mode. There we go. Or general map mode, I think this is technically. Default map mode. Close enough. So we're going to continue punching into Russia over here. And we're just waiting at this point until the 1st, when I want to create our nuke wing. At long, long last, we're going to use some of these nukes. They're nuking us, so I feel it's only polite to return the favor. And this is a great spot to nuke if we can get the air superiority to do it. So... oh, 31 July. Of course, July has 31 days. I knew this. I definitely didn't think that it had 30. Okay. I was wondering why we only had a couple hundred manpower, but there we go. Now we have the manpower that we need. So at this airbase here, we're going to go ahead and create ourselves a strategic bomber wing. And the question is, well, do we use jet strategic bombers? You know what? Let's do it. Let's use some jet strategic bombers, and we're going to have how many of them? I'm going to go for 500. And let's see. In order to nuke, do we just need jet strategic bombers in range and the air superiority? Let's see here. Yep, that's all we need. So technically, we don't need 500 planes for this. 500 is overkill. We're going to bump that down to simply 100, so we don't have to deal with that manpower. We are going to need the air superiority over here. And the question becomes, how do we get that? Well, that is something that we can tackle in the next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.